Coming up on Good Morning Waverly, area schools received some big bucks this week. Find out who the local multimillionaire was and why she's investing in education.
Plus, find out how some Waverly middle schoolers were helping students all the way in Nicaragua.
And it's technically spring outside, but will it feel like it this weekend? Find out in GMW weather.
Happy Friday and Good Morning Waverly.
Good morning, Waverly. I'm Shelby Grenath.
And I'm Kelsey Bemis. Let's start off this morning with a look at what you can expect going on outside. Temperature is currently just below 10 degrees, a high of 7 degrees right now. Slight wind coming in from the northeast, only 4 miles per hour there. Relative humidity of 78%, dew point 3 degrees. Now as we carry on throughout the day, we'll see just above 10 degrees at 9 a.m. noon, just around 20, and then the high in the mid-20s around 3 p.m. Shouldn't see any snow or precipitation there, just slight wind. Tomorrow will be a high of 35, partly sunny. Once again, no precipitation there, but later in the full forecast, we'll tell you what you can expect next week and throughout the weekend.
We'll start off with some breaking news this morning. 3 are dead after a shooting at a Marine base in Virginia. A standoff started late Thursday night and ended this morning when the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities say all 3 were Marines but do not know if they knew each other. The suspect was enrolled in an officer candidate school. His motive is unknown. A group of Waverly students are making a difference around the world. 6th graders participating with the Wartburg Outreach Program Community Builders together made 75 school packs with classroom materials. The kits were taken by Self-Help International and distributed to 300 students in Nicaragua.
Bremer and Butler County are getting ready for spring weather as well, but in more extreme situations. The counties held their yearly Storm Spotter training event this week to a full room at City Hall. This is the first time the 2 counties have held their training session together. Around 300 people in Bremer County are storm spotters, and the Butler County Emergency Management Coordinator says you can be one too.
If you can spell weather, you can come to the class. Basically, anybody can be a weather spotter as long as you take the class and you know exactly what you're looking for. We don't want people calling in funnel clouds or tornadoes when they're actually maybe just a scud cloud or a shelf cloud.
One group of students are showing signs of kindness to others. From 4 to 6 o'clock today, Wartburg students will be hosting Room of Love on the streets of Waverly. The group is made up of Wartburg students who want to encourage positive attitudes. They will be on 4th Street and Bremer Avenue holding signs with positive and kind messages to people who drive by.
A year ago this May, Cedar Falls Navy veteran Taylor Morris lost most of his arms and legs in an IED explosion in Afghanistan. Over the last 10 months, Morris's recovery has been documented by his good friend and photographer Tim Dodd. Taylor is already walking on prosthetic legs and using top-of-the-line prosthetic arms. Learning to use his prosthetics this quickly was no surprise to Dodd.
If he believes in something that he can do and he thinks he can do it, he's going to do it. He doesn't care what the doctors say. He doesn't really care what Danielle says, but Danielle's kind of right there with him. She thinks, you know, if he's going to do it, he's going to do it, and you can't stop him from doing that.
For the full story on Taylor Morris's recovery and his relationship with Tim Dodd, tune into WTV News this Monday night.
Hundreds of mourners gathered together to honor the lives of a father and son who died last week. Rick Schneider and his son Adam were laid to rest on Tuesday at Harlington Cemetery in Waverly. The 2 men were checking a grain bin at Schneider Milling where the accident occurred last Thursday. Both men are survived by extensive family, including Adam's wife Tammy, who is expecting their 2nd child.
The Bremer County Board of Supervisors appointed a deputy as the new county recorder. Melissa Davis will serve out the remainder of the term following the resignation of former recorder Donna Ellison. Police arrested Ellison in February and charged her with theft and misconduct. She is accused of stealing over $500 from the recorder's office dating back to May of last year.
A Waverly Council member is being recognized for giving back to the community. The Waverly Chamber of Commerce presented Gary Borum with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Due to his health, last year's recipient delivered the award to Borum's home. An awards ceremony was held this week in his honor. He has worked as a firefighter and later a salesman of fire equipment before being elected into the city council 17 years ago.
One group of Wartburg men will make music together this weekend at the college. Ritter Choir, directed by Dr. Lee Nelson, will perform this Sunday at 4 p.m. in the Wartburg Chapel. Translated from German to English, Ritter Choir means Knight's Choir. The choir performs in Christmas with Wartburg each year with over 300 performers. The choir was founded 16 years ago and currently has over 70 members.
One college class at Wartburg will be hosting a fundraiser for Relay for Life called Uncork for a Cause. The class will be hosting a wine tasting at Tendrils Rooftop Garden at the Waverly Health Center on April 5th. If you don't want to wait until April, you can also stop by the Fainting Goat on Monday, where they will fundraise for the Boys and Girls Club. Coming up next on Good Morning Waverly, we have the full story about a generous donation to 2 area schools.
And we'll have your full spring forecast coming up next after the break. You're watching Good Morning Waverly. Welcome back to Good Morning Waverly. The time is currently 6:39. Temperature outside is just below 10 degrees, only a high of 7 degrees outside right now. Slight wind, 4 miles per hour coming in from the northeast. Now as we carry throughout the day, 9 a.m. it will warm up slightly just above that 10-degree mark. Noon we'll see a high around 20 degrees. See the high for the day around 3 p.m. just above 25, so still not getting into those high temperatures just yet today. Cloudy tonight with a high of 17 degrees, just a slight wind there though. Sunset at 7:24 p.m. and as we carry into tomorrow, it is going to warm up slightly from today. 35 degrees for your high there, partly sunny then. Wind will pick up 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunrise set for 7:08. Now as we carry into our weekend weather, we are going to see a slight chance for snow on Sunday, not getting away from that just quite yet. About a 20% chance for precipitation there. Could start Saturday evening as well. High of 32 degrees. Monday will warm up to a high of 34 degrees, still not quite where we would like it to be as we carry in throughout the week. It is going to warm up, however. We'll see a high of 35 degrees on Tuesday, 37 on Wednesday. So not quite as warm as we would like just yet, not quite getting into those spring temperatures, but it is going to continue to warm up so that we can hopefully see those sometime within the next couple of weeks.
It's crazy to think that last year at this time it was in the 70s and now it's 7 degrees.
I know, when you compare the two, it's nowhere close.
I think everyone's really tired of winter.
Oh, definitely.
One local woman is making a difference even after her passing.
Evelyn Deeker, a longtime area teacher, was known for her passion for teaching and her students. Last week, her nephew presented over $1 million to 2 area schools in her memory. I sat down with representatives from the schools to find out more. Denver Community School and St. Paul's Lutheran School recently received donations unlike any in the past.
It's the largest gift that our endowment fund has received since its founding in 1979.
Evelyn Deeker, a former area teacher, has left $1,400,000 to each of the schools. Representatives say they were beyond words when hearing about these donations.
We were elated and grateful when we learned of the gift.
Personally, it's like, wow, I don't even know what to say.
Deeker taught for 49 years at Denver and was a member of St. Paul's Lutheran Church. Those who knew her say she had a love for her job and her students.
Anybody that I ever talked to that had her or knew her just thought she was just the best. She was concerned that the students succeed.
At St. Paul's, the money will be put into the school's endowment fund.
Ultimately, this will increase the distribution to the expenses of St. Paul's School somewhere in the neighborhood of $65,000 to $70,000 a year.
At Denver, however, the money was donated to the Dollars for Scholars program, which grants scholarships to graduating students.
With this gift, we will be able to work towards giving renewable scholarships so that the students can receive the money through 4 years of college rather than just one.
No matter how the money is being used, both schools say they are incredibly grateful for such a kind donation.
This program could not run without donations.
It was a beautiful gift.
And as Wanda Burkholder there mentioned, the Denver Dollars for Scholars program, you know, she said it couldn't run without these donations, but she said it obviously is the largest they've ever had, and with it, they'll be able to carry on the 4-year scholarships, and there were no classifications on it, so it can go to any major. So
That's great.
Those local scholarships are huge for students, so it's a great opportunity.
Right.
To donate to the Denver Dollars for Scholars program, people are urged to take part in the annual phone-a-thon next Monday and Tuesday. Coming up next after the break,
we talked via Skype to a 6th grade class from Waverly, Iowa.
From Good Morning America to Good Morning Waverly, we'll have the group of 6th graders who are getting national attention about their trip to D.C.
And have you filled out your bracket? We'll tell you your odds of guessing the right winners of the big tourney. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Good Morning Waverly. The time is currently 6:45. From Good Morning America to Good Morning Waverly show, we have the 6th graders who gained national attention for their cause. St. Paul's 6th graders were at first going to tour the White House, but then were denied because of budget cuts. After hearing the news of the cuts, they started a campaign to get them back. They caught the nation's attention and made headlines worldwide with a video dedicated to the cause. Joining me in the studio now are a few of the students and a few of their teacher and then a chaperone along the trip.
That's right.
To discuss kind of the impact of the trip. So first, how was you guys' trip to D.C.?
Very good.
Very good. Can you briefly describe kind of what the campaign is about?
Well, this is a cause that kind of found us. We didn't find it. It all started when we were granted our White House tour and then denied our White House tour on the same day. And the kids wanted to do something to try to reopen the tours, and that's where the video came from. And we really had no idea that it was going to cause such a stir nationwide, but I think people really related to the message that the kids had and their passion for their country.
All right. Can one of you three kind of describe what you did on your trip? Now, you didn't get to see the White House, but what were some other things you did get to do?
We saw the Capitol and got a special tour of that. And we went to the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, the World War II Memorial. We got to go up to the gates of the White House, and those were all pretty fun.
All right. Now, I heard you guys got a special tour while you were at the Capitol. You got to go into the speaker's office. So can you describe kind of what that experience was like?
We went out on the balcony the speaker goes out on sometimes, and it was a great view.
All right. Now, you weren't able to go in the White House, correct? But did you get as close as you could? And we saw on your Facebook that people actually recognized your group. So what was that experience like?
Madison.
I mean, it was really cool, but like we got as close as we could, and while they were taking pictures, we heard somebody off to one of the sides. There's like other groups, and they said, "Hey, I want to be doing that." It was just really funny because it's like we didn't really we didn't choose to do this. It just kind of came to us, so it's like really cool.
All right. So what is it like to be parents and teacher of this experience with these kids?
I think the common values, and we were just one of hundreds of tour groups out there that link our heritage to the common cause of understanding how our government works and all the functions and the different functions, and the tie and the connection to our kids as far as making those connections, realizing all of the valuable rich heritage that's out there, and looking at the leadership and for the common good of learning about our government and how it functions.
But also getting their point across in a constructive way, a polite way. The kids, I think, have really learned a lesson in civil discourse, meaning you don't have to scream at people about your position. You can do it in a calm and kind and respectful way and get your point across. The parents and the staff and the teachers and hopefully the congregation at St. Paul's and the people of Waverly have been proud of the way the kids have conducted themselves. But I think, as you know, the issue is not over, because even though the president made some indication that he was willing to reopen the tours for student groups, he hasn't done that yet, and there's no date set for that. And so we're continuing to advocate that through the website, thewhitehouseIsOurHouse.com. And so we're encouraging people to continue to go on the website, contact the White House by email or telephone, and encourage them to reopen the White House as soon as possible.
All right. Well, and what's kind of changed since being on this trip with the campaign?
Just a lot more awareness about the White House, but also, I hope anyway, an acknowledgement by people that they can make a difference, and maybe this wasn't their issue that they feel passionate about, but hopefully these kids or the people in the school or the teachers or the community of Waverly are going to find an issue that they feel passionate about and can look at these kids and say, they did it. I think I'll try to do that with the issue that I feel strongly about.
Okay. Now, you three, you're only 6th graders. So can you kind of speak on to other people your age on how you can make a difference at such a young age? Do you want to talk? Naomi, you want to take this one? Would you like to, Madison? I think you have something now.
So I don't really know.
Did you ever expect that you would be able to do something like this?
No.
Never? All right.
National attention for 6th graders is just basically a far out thing that it's hard to get to.
Unexpected for sure. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Coming up, see what you can catch in theaters this weekend. Shelby and I will have our weekend movie picks.
Welcome back to Good Morning Waverly. The time is currently 6:52. On Monday, the Waverly Shell Rock girls track and field team competed at the Dickinson Relays at the UNI Dome. The Go Hawks competed against a number of Class 4A schools and came away with 5 top 10 finishes. Senior Becca Cherry had 2 top 5 finishes for WSR. She came in 2nd in the 60-meter dash and then 4th in the 200-meter dash. In the distance event, senior Anna Holdeman placed in 2nd in the 1,500-meter run, and Abby Caldwell was 5th in the 800-meter. LeJada even finished in 7th in the 60-meter hurdles. This was the Go Hawks' 3rd meet of the season, as they have already competed at Iowa State and Wartburg. Even though the winter sports are over for high schoolers, one WSR student got his name in the record books. Senior Trevor Yonda took 4th place at the state bowling tournament in Des Moines. He tied with Cedar Rapids Xavier's Kyle Elliott with a 2-game series score of 462. His 4th place finish tied for the 2nd highest place at the state tourney in school history. In December, Yonda rolled a 278 in his 2nd game, which broke the record for the high single-game score in Go Hawk history. He was also named the captain of the all-district team. Sophomore Alex Denton was named to the 1st team, and freshman Alex Yonda, Trevor's brother, earned 2nd team all-district. A few WSR coaches earned all-district honors as well, as Matthew Schneider was named all-district boys coach and Kara Schneider earned all-district girls coach. One Waverly Shell Rock senior will be a 2-sport athlete next year at the collegiate level. Bryce Miller couldn't decide whether or not he wanted to play football or baseball at the college level, but Grandview made the decision easy for him. Grandview was interested in him for both baseball and football. Miller was getting looks from other schools, but not many wanted him to play both sports. Miller was a running back for WSR and rushed for 806 yards and 7 touchdowns last season. On the baseball diamond, he is an outfielder and drove in 17 runs last year. And finally, last weekend, the Wartburg wrestling team competed at the Division III Nationals in Cedar Rapids with 10 qualifying wrestlers. After the first round, all 10 knights were still alive. However, 3 were eliminated after Friday's 2nd session. Unlike last year, only 2 knights made it to the final round, Kenny Anderson at 133 pounds and Cody Silvestri at 149. The junior Anderson was able to win his 2nd national championship with a 9-1 major decision. Silvestri, a senior, lost on a last-second reversal, giving him 2nd place. As a team, the Knights finished in 1st place, winning their 3rd straight title, a first for the program. Wartburg also had 7 All-Americans, including 2 wrestlers placing in 3rd, 1 4th, 1 5th, and 1 in 7th place. The Knights were looking to send legendary coach Jim Miller out on top as he announced his retirement at the beginning of the season.
It's been a blessing to be at Wartburg. It's been a blessing my whole career, actually, but this has topped it off. And I know God put me at Wartburg for a reason, and I'm just really fortunate to be there, and the ride has been just unbelievable.
Still to come on Good Morning Waverly, we'll have our weekend movie picks. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
No means no.
Mom, put the gun down.
Coming up to theaters this weekend is Admission, starring Tina Fey and Paul Rudd. Admission is a romantic comedy about a Princeton admissions officer and an old college friend who runs an alternative high school.
I call them shoes.
And Meet the Croods, the last cavemen on Earth. This DreamWorks film follows a caveman family, the Croods, on an adventure after the world they know is suddenly destroyed.
It's every college basketball fan's favorite time of the year, March Madness. Experts have calculated that even if you know basketball, your chances of having a perfect bracket are 1 in 128 billion. So far, plenty of brackets have already been busted, thanks to a few upsets from Cal, Harvard, and Oregon. More potential bracket busters are scheduled for today, with 16 more first-round games starting at 11:15, with 15-seed Albany taking on number 2 Duke.
Now let's take a look at what we can expect for the weather throughout today. Now, around 9 a.m., it will be only 12 degrees, slightly above 10 degrees there. Noon, a high of about 20 degrees and a high of 27 high for the day. At 3 p.m. as we carry into tonight, it is going to drop down to 17 degrees, just a slight wind though. Sunset at 7:24, so it is getting later as we go throughout the spring here, now that we are officially in spring. This weekend we'll see a high of 35 degrees tomorrow. Sunday, a slight chance of snow, only about 20% though, so we shouldn't get too much there. Monday, 34 for the high. And that's all the time we have for Good Morning Waverly today. Be sure to watch our last WTV News of the school year this Monday night at 8.
Then watch our last sports night of the year on Tuesday at the same time. Have a great day, Waverly.